Now take a look at this monthly. Do you think there's any need to actually add a zone? Now somebody might see this particular level bar and say, okay, I need to put a level here because of this edge. Look at this. Let me like this, right? Like this here, like this, like this, like this. Yeah. Now, if you pull this to, let's say, an empty place, let me drag it here. Sorry. Let me drag that all the way. Let me see if I can. Hold on. Ooh, this is actually harder than I thought. Okay. Aha. Let me see if I can drag this all the way to the top. Aha. Now, this was actually here, right? Let me draw it again. I want to really, really take my time to really do this perfectly for you guys to see. So you can see what I'm seeing. Let's trace it here. Then like this. Abby? Very good. Now let me drag this. Let me bring it somewhere else so where you can see what I'm talking about. So that you don't have to go through this. I'm literally taking my time to really go through this so that you don't have to. Now, what would somebody say? You might say, oh, there's a zone here. There's a zone where again? Here. At this tippy top now. And then also you might even say there's another zone here. But look at this thing. It's actually very, very tight. It's really a very, very tight space and a very tight level. Let's move on to the main chart so you can literally see. And I'll draw the zone there. Let's say I want to put a zone here. Because of this sidebar, you say you want to put a zone here. How does it look? Just check it. This monthly time frame is actually very tight. You need to be able to leave it, let it have space. Now this is where experience comes in. When you move down to the weekly time frame, there's going to be the levels are going to be very, very clear. You get you don't have to start guessing. You can put it down here. You say you want to put it up here. No, this is actually very tight on the monthly. Now, mind you, let me just say this: not every single time frame must have a level. Sometimes you could just let go. Sometimes you just have to let go. So let me switch to the weekly. Then we'll now see very, very clear. Okay, let me remove this. Now, look at it. This is very, very clear. Now, there's something very interesting that usually with this particular strategy, you're supposed to go all the way to 19, what, but this is BTC. I think that applies to other pairs, but for Bitcoin, since we're limited to 2018, you know, the market isn't currently within the zone, so just ignore that. Scroll to the front, to the front, to the front, and then here. If we're scrolling, let's say from this, look to the right. Where's the most recent reaction? There's a reaction here, right? You want to do something like this, then you'd say another zone. Oh, here's another reaction. Here, you want to put a zone here, right? But mind you, if we are to draw those zones, in fact, let me draw it as a weekly. If we are to, you see this particular spot here, if we are to draw a zone here, right? Because this is actually a reaction. Look at this. This is some sort of reaction. There's a bounce at this particular level. Let's say we now draw a level here. Huh? This is you're not wrong. You get because you can actually say, oh, this is a bounce like this, up, down, reaction here, here, here. Then there's a break. But this is actually the market consolidated here. Then it broke, came back for a retest, which is actually amazing. Did small consolidation here before finding buy pressure all the way to the top, and then see there's another small reaction here again, right? So you want to say, oh, let me add another zone here because of that reaction. Look how it's not even making sense. It's not even this. It's not even clear. It's not really. It's too tight. This spot is too tight, and it's not even making sense. Experience has actually taught me something that you work with the most recent market. So if you start from here, the back, like let's say if you scroll, let's say if you start from here and you draw your zones, and you see that your zones are not tallying, it's not tallying with the present, then that zone is actually invalid. So what do you now do? The zone now, you're just going to leave this here. The most recent structure we can see is here. This is a break, retest, a break above this level, retest here. Share your scene, but retest here. So what we do now? We're going to clone this, draw another zone here at this particular level. Look at how clean it's looking now. You know one thing, people actually overcomplicate things. You don't have to. It does not have to be complicated. In fact, when it seems like you're actually struggling, just leave it. Like it's trying to. It's as if you're trying to force it, and as if you're trying to force the market to do what you want. And that's not how it actually works. You just have to go with the flow. Look how simple. First of all, it's looking simple. You can follow the structure. Like just look at this, like this. Now, of course, if you pay attention closely, there's a double bottom here before a break like this. If you're someone that has eyes very well, like you need to look. There's a double bottom right here before a break above, then a sell all the way down. But are we going to draw another weekly zone at that level? Let's try and see something. Are we going to draw it here? Put it here. Look at this. It doesn't even make sense. Why? Because there's not enough space. This space is too tight for this. You're going to have to let that go. You're going to leave it. If it's not having enough space, you can let go. It's okay to draw two zones. Sometimes you get to draw only one zone. And like on the monthly time frame, we did not even draw any zone. So I don't want this video to be very long. Just look at this very well. It's so clean. It's very clean, right? It's very, very clean. So now, as after this weekly, now let's move down to the daily. There's literally nothing else to do. There's no any other zone. There isn't any other zone. So let's move down to the daily. We're getting there. The daily now. Look at this. Where is the spot where there is actually a reaction? So what I might say, oh, there's a reaction here. You can see this shoot. There's a reaction here. The market fell down, then move all the way to the top. There's also another reaction here. Let me draw it so you can see the edges. I don't know whether I should use the word edges. Well, right? Like this, like this, like this, like this. There's a small reaction here too. Then like this, like this, then like this. Now, like you might want to say, oh, let me make this let me try and see if I can draw a particular zone here. You want to draw a zone here like this as a daily. My daily is green. Yeah, you want to draw at this particular level here like this, like this. If you draw it like this, you're still learning though. But where is the most recent? That's why I say experience also matters too. Where is the most recent? The most recent. I don't know why this is actually. Um, so where is the most recent? See it here, very clear. I mean, this is actually valid too because there's actually a reaction here. This is an edge. See this edge here. You're not wrong, but I want to keep it clean. So instead, we're going to bring this all the way down here because that's actually a very solid, solid, solid level here. You get? This is actually a very, very solid level here. Bam. So just going to leave it like this. This is a very, very solid level here. So we're going to draw the zone, this level. Because see now, let me make this very clear. Look at this. This is the push. This is the exhaustion here before a fall. Now, mind you, buy pressure is actually small, small. Buying pressure is actually building up. So it's going to try and buy all the way, to the tippy top, all the way to maybe this weekly before we see a sell, weekly zone. So, but for now, where can we see? Now here we can see this is actually the edge. Look at it. I understand this is actually the 3 months level. Personally, I don't trade when it's these levels. I usually avoid them. This 3 months level, I actually usually avoid it. To say 3 months level, 1 month level, I've had experience. The trade doesn't really because that's a huge zone and it's very very wide. So I don't really play with that level. But then again, for the sake of educational purposes, um, there's this is how it is. But personally, I won't really trade here, but let's move further from the daily. Let's move to the 4 hour. Don't overcomplicate things, keep it simple. Now, on the 4 hour, you can now see it very clever. This is that huge break, retest, and then this is the sell, then buy pressure now. It's finding way to buy to the top. Now, on the 4 hour, how do you now draw your 4 hour zone? 4 hour zone, you don't even need to stress too much. Just look for where is the immediate place where price actually reacted, which is here. Price already break above. Boom. Bam. Just draw your zone. Okay, my 4 hour, I use a different color for it. Yes. Look at it. So right now I'm waiting for this market to now push a little bit to the top, come for a retest before I buy all the way to the top. This is 101. This is literally but a little bit advanced. It's like this. I draw from this level. I draw my level here, like this, right? No, like this. Those that actually know how to use trend lines. Those of you that actually use trend lines, yeah. So, what are we going to do? I'm going to wait for the market to break above this level, come back for a retest at this level before I can see a candle confirmation. Then I could buy all the way to the top side. So, but trend lines now, and you can also add, in fact, to make it very okay. To make this, let me draw another zone here so that you can actually see why I picked this 4 hour level. So now you can see, there was a small consolidation here. Boom, 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 boom. There's a little bounce before we find a break at this level. Then we're going to wait for a retest. At this retest, but at this level, we'll now wait for a candle confirmation, whether a bullish engulfer, bullish engulfer, morning star, um, 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 pin bar, before we buy all the way to the top. So that's just it. That is how you actually just simplify it. Don't overcomplicate it. Look how simple this looks. You don't have to start looking at, oh, let me start checking this level. There's a level here, there's a level here. Just come experience, has made me realize, oh, sometimes just come to the most recent, you know, and then just look at it. It's going to be very clear. It's going to be very clear. So this is actually the analysis on Bitcoin. Let me see if I can find a pair. There's one like this. I don't know. Is it GBP USD bar? Let's check on GBP USD. Let's see what's happening. Oh wow. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, okay, okay. GBP USD. Let's start from the 3 months. Let's start from the 3 months time frame. Now, hell, I think I already had a zone there. See zones, zones, zones. So I'm gonna delete them and then explain how they are supposed to be drawn or to be drawn. Now look at this perfectly. Just take a look. Scroll all the way to the back. Where did the market reacted? Where is an edge? This is an edge. Here, this is also an edge. Here, this is also an edge. Here, see edge, see edge, see edge, 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 edge. So what do we now do? Where do we draw our zones now? Now, you might say, oh, let me draw this zone here because of this edge, right? Okay, this is too thick. This is actually too thick. I need to reduce it. Yes, on 3 months, you want to keep it. You want to say, oh, this actually zone here. But like I said, experience again. I will come down to the most recent. This is actually a 3 months time frame. I don't want to. It's actually huge, so I just keep it here like this, right? Then which other zone? Clone. I give enough space because there are multiple reactions here. There's a reaction here, and then small reaction here. So, like I said again, experience. But overall, let's say you're new. Look at the space. I like it. It looks spacious. It looks clean, right? It looks spacious. It's very very clean. So you can leave it like that. Then clone again. Put it at this level here. Look at how clean it looks now. Does it not? Does it not make sense? Doesn't it? I know. Yes, this part there isn't an edge or anything, but and you might want to put it here, but nah. Just sometimes you just have to ignore. If you follow this, you're actually following the rules, but also experience and a lot should tell you that okay, you need to adjust, you need to grow, you need to think outside the box. So the reason why I put this on is because there's reaction here, there's reaction, and there's enough space in between. So that's actually the reason. So you can see, well simplified, very clean, very clear. So where is this market heading now? We'll find out if we go to the monthly. Let's see if we can find the monthly zones. Okay, okay, okay. Let's see. Uh, okay. See the monthly zone. Like I said, don't overcomplicate things. See this, there's already a reaction here, reaction here, reaction here. If I draw it, you definitely find what you're looking for. So this is the monthly. My monthly is what? Blue. So I keep it. Okay, this side is not touching. You can see this side, but it's not touching. So I'll have to adjust it a little bit. Aha, let it touch. Yep. So yeah, you can see monthly. Do we need to trace it all the way back? Let's see where there was a reaction. Okay, no any reaction. As you can see this edge here. It's a small reaction, but I think on the weekly it's really going to appear even more so. But that's not our this. So you can see the monthly now. Look at how amazing it literally looks. Now, so far, you'd say since the market, whenever the market touches this area, it moves to a buy, touches here, buy, touches here. Now, still looking for a buy, but we're going to really find out, you know, and see. So the 3 months is saying what? Buy. 1 month is saying buy. Let's move to the weekly. Let's see how we can find some edges. Okay, the zone is already drawn, but let me cancel this so it doesn't confuse. Now, okay, let me go back. Let's see. What I want to do first is let's check. Let's use the strategy by going all the way, scrolling all the way to the back to the 19 what. Let's see. Ha. Firstly, you you can see this particular spot here. There's a reaction here, but we didn't pick that part because if we adjust this weekly level up, it's really going to it's going to be too close to this 3 months level. Then look here again. That's why we we skipped this part and then chose this side. At least it has more space. Meanwhile, this particular lower side, look at this. There's a reaction here. I know this is like old this and it's not really giving data, but if we scroll, like I said, experience, you don't even need to stress all the way going back trying to see whether there's a reaction. Yes, there's a reaction here. It's upper the upper zone. There's a reaction. You see, normally this zone is supposed to be here like this, so but it's supposed to be like this, but the market evolves, so you also need to evolve. So just go, in fact, to avoid the whole stress, you just come straight here. What is happening here? Let me zoom out. What is happening? Let me do something so you can see this edge here, right? Came down. See this level here. This is literally a fake breakout. One of the rules, I think number 5 is stay clear of fake breakout. Yes, I don't know, I can't remember, but stay clear of fake breakout. This is fake. You know, the main level is actually here, but let's just put it like this. Then there's now a consolidation here. Look at it, look at it, look at it. Oh my goodness, this video is so long. I think I'm going to be faster. So where do you now draw a level? There's a level here, one. Then we clone it here. Because the market, in fact, currently, markets actually consolidating at weekly levels. This is just to tell you guys wherever you're watching from. Weekly zones, almost all the markets, they are just consolidating, and it's, I don't know what to say. Is it nice? Is it not nice? So what do? We just draw a zone here, make sure everything is touching. Weekly level here. Weekly is usually yellow. Here too, put it like this. So you see how good it actually looks. Let me zoom out. Look at how clean it looks. You don't need to overcomplicate things, just keep it simple. This whole level now, this side is just telling you that the market is actually consolidating. Now let's move on to the daily as soon as possible. The daily too. What are you supposed to do normally? You're supposed to scroll all the way to 19. What? I mean, that would be a thing you should learn first. Like, you scroll all the way to 19, according to the strategy. But, like I said, you keep evolving, just move straight to the recent market and look to see. Let's see. Okay, I think I should adjust this a little bit here. Uh, in fact, let me reverse. There's something I mentioned regarding, I think it's number 3, from higher time frame to lower time frame to make adjustments. So this is exactly what just happened. See, I draw my zones on the weekly, but as I'm on this level now, on the daily, you can see it's actually reacting. Now, mind you, I can actually delete this particular daily zone now and leave it like this. It's no problem because the weekly has already done that for me. In fact, I don't really need it. I don't really need that because the weekly has already done it for me. The weekly has done the job of representing the daily zone. So how do you now draw your zone on this daily? Do I even need to think twice? Let me delete it so that it doesn't look at this from this level. The most obvious thing that you can see, you just need to use it. That's what you need to understand. Then there's now like a long break, then a small reaction here, you know, a small reaction here, continuation like this, like this. So when you now look at it, when you just look at it, you just obvious you can just simply draw your zone. You don't even need to think twice. You just draw your zone. There's a reaction here. In fact, I can start from recent market. There's a reaction here, reaction. This is a consolidation here. It broke. So under consolidation, what do? I draw a zone. I draw a zone. and leave it like this. Look at how clean it's now looking. Then what can I see again? See reaction here, right? These are double reactions. There's also a double bottom here. Look at it. A reaction, then like this, then like this, like this, like this. So what do? I just simply draw my zone. Let me clone it so I don't need to stress by drawing. So I just put this zone here. Back up. Look at how clean it's looking now. Look at this. Look at this. Everything just aligns. Look. Just look at this. Everything just aligns. Everything just aligns. So you don't need to stress it. Just keep it simple. Look at this. Then all I need to do is just move to the daily time frame. Now, mind you, um, remember on the monthly, on the 3 months. Let me show you something. I think this just GPUSD on the 3 months. Yeah, you notice that we're paying attention to trying to look for a buy. Like the 3 months, obviously, this is anytime the market gets here, it sells. Every time the market gets here, it sells. Now the market is also trying to get here, but this is all the 3 months. Markets, I mean, technically, if that's what we're going to do, it's trying to get to this level before we sell all the way to the downside, right? We all agree that's one. Now, let's move on to the monthly. What did the monthly show us? Of course, you can literally see this small consolidation here, but then again, it's overall you'd say, oh, it's an uptrend, right? It was when we now got to the weekly that okay, the market is now becoming okay a little bit okay. Now we're consolidating at what's happening. Now you'd say, oh, since the market consolidating, since the market has actually gotten to this level, it will look for a buy to the upside. That's what I mean. Everyone will literally think, yeah. Since the so you can see the 3 months is saying buy, it's heading to the top. 1 month is also in support. 1 week now, weekly is consolidating, and then on the consolidation, obviously when you get to the zone where it's consolidating, it looks for a buy to the upside, right? Then we will now come to the daily now. The daily is now telling us a different thing. It's not telling us that it's in a sell because this is after this consolidation, right? Is a lower low, lower high, equal low, equal high, then market broke, lower low, lower high. I think it might actually present a buy. I think it might present a buy. But let's move on to the 4 hour, then we'll see that. But I'm expecting this to turn to, I don't know whether you can see this reddish is already forming a sell, a bearish candle is already forming. So what I'm expecting is the sell. Now, 2 ways. This market can go 2 ways. Look at this. Now on the 4 hour, do we need to draw our 4 hour level? No, you don't even need to. You don't need to draw a 4 hour level. What? Okay, it's still in a buy. It's actually a buy, but you remember on the daily it was showing me, it was saying sell, sell, sell. Now what is going to differentiate it is when this market, okay, there's a level here, 4 hour level, but yes, there has to be a 4 hour level because it's the edge. It's the edge. It's an edge. There is an edge. Look at it. There's an edge. There's an edge. So look at it. After the market did its nonsense here, the whole crazy, it broke the push. We're waiting for an exhaustion, then we can buy to this zone first before we take it all the way to the upside. So what is going to determine this now is when this market drops to this level and then we get a candle confirmation. You get that is a bullish engulfing candle, significant pin bar, or a morning star. Then we'll buy all the way to the upside. So that is what we're just waiting for at this particular level. So that's about GBP USD. Look at it very well. I said earlier, oh, do we need to draw any zone? We actually need to because of this edge. This is actually an edge. So now the market is literally falling. This is an edge that's already done its push. There's an edge. It will now fall here before it finds a buy. Market does either, I think I explained this before now in my that other video that was long. Either the market consolidates, the market breaks, does normal break like this. You see these two, either one the market will do that one of these ones. Now under this is now when you now see a double bottom, when you see a double bottom like this, you say then the market will break, come back for a retest, you now look for a buy. Sometimes it does triple bottom, sometimes it does what consolidation. That's when it consolidates. Like on this pair now, on the weekly now, you can see how the market was consolidating on the weekly. So just look at the simplicity of it. You don't need to stress it. If it's trying to give you headache, don't stress. So this is actually the strategy. This is how you just look. All you need to do is just look at the markets and then play on. If you want self, you can literally adjust this zone. I'm trying to see whether this edge, this edge here, but I'm comparing it to this and this, and see that is there any use for me to adjust? Let me try and see something if I can maybe adjust it a little bit, let it touch. Let me see. Okay, that can work. Yes, that can actually work, but let me try and see if I can. I think here is just okay. This can just literally be a, like, you know I'm just going to leave this. If you adjust it, it's still fine. You get, this is the lower, this is actually a daily zone, but we're in the 4 hour, and then I'm trying to adjust, so it happens. So experience, would really help you. I'm just going to leave it like that. So wait for the retest, then we'll buy all the way to the wait for here the retest, then we'll buy all the way to the upside. So that is that about GBP USD. Let me see. There's Euro NZD, right? Okay. Euro NZD. Let's start from 3 months. Yes. Let me try and make this real quick. Euro NZD. Okay. Now this one's a little bit tricky. Where is the most obvious one? You can see there's a buy. This one even is very okay. There's a buy here, buy here, buy here, buy here. Then you can see the market broke. Me, I'll call all these ones fake. I'll call them fake. These ones that they broke below like this and came all the way like this is fake. I'll like call it fake. So then from here we buy. So that level, this level, that's why this one is actually here. That's why I just left it here like this. Back up, let it just be there. Now on the upside, you might say, oh, this is actually an edge here. See an edge now, but let's see if it is an edge, you trace it. Does it really have any, let's see if we put it here. It's not bad. You can leave it like this. In fact, I don't even know why I put it up there. I think it's because of this, instead of this, to your left, but instead of this level here, I think I adjusted here because this one has more reaction, more than like one, see, 1, 2, 3. If you keep it here, it's okay. If you keep it here, it's still fine. This is the 3 months length, and besides, there is enough space. It has not gotten that whole buy up to the end. It never finished, so we're just going to leave it as it is like this. So the 3 months is trying to get to the upside. Yes. So let's move on to the monthly time frame. Okay, the monthly is already drawn, but um, I want us to look at something. How did I come about this zone? Yes. So you need to keep things simple. I know. Look at it. It looks a little bit like scattered everywhere, but calm down. Just go to the most recent. Like I said, experience should be your guide. So I can see this pin here. If I trace it, there's a small reaction here, then reaction. I think that's why the zone is here. Let me draw it. Bam. That's why there's a zone here. So I'm just going to leave this like this. You see, now let's trace it back to the most the ending. Is there any reaction? There's no reaction here. Do I need to make adjustment? Let's see if I adjust it a little bit. Will there be any? Now let's move to the front. Okay, okay, yes, yes, yes. This is perfect. So as you trace it, look at this. Trace it from here. This small tiny reaction. Let's see if there's any buy again. Yes, look at this side. Yes, we get something here. We got something here. Um, yes, we got something here. We got something here. Um, yes, we got one here. So yeah, this is valid. This is very okay. So look at this. There's a small consolidation here before the market broke all the way to the upside. Now somebody, I don't know whether you think and say, oh, let me just put a reaction here, this side here at the top here, since the market, since that's actually an edge. You are not wrong, right? But also, let's see. Let's just trace it. Can we find anything? This is looking valid. Now this is actually a blind analysis that I'm actually doing. So this is actually valid. See this buy, sell, sell, sell. Yeah, you know. Okay, look at this buy, sell. You know. Okay, okay, okay. See small buy here at this point here, this level here. Buy. So we can actually leave it as it is. It's still valid. It's still okay. Let's move to the weekly now. Let's see. Now the weekly is already drawn. Hey, so if you might want to say, oh, let's leave it. If you leave it like this, you know, because this is actually a fake. This is just a spike, a spiky. I don't like pairs that actually spike. There's one said NZD card. I think I'll show. I'll touch that one too. It spikes a lot. So you see, if you leave it like this, you're still not wrong because of course there's a reaction, reaction, reaction like this compared to the way it was earlier, like this. I mean, this is also not wrong, but I feel like it's time for an adjustment. But adjust it here like this, so it keeps it simple and of course you can't put another zone here like this. Come on, it's too close to the monthly already. It's monthly time frame, so we'll just switch. Move on to the daily. Let's see what the daily has for us. Okay, interesting, interesting. What does the daily have for us? This is this is really really interesting. Daily zone. Just going to see. Now this can actually be tricky. If the pair, I think this is I'm seeing it. I don't know if you can see it because there's so many reaction here. Lots of a little bit of reaction. But as you can tell, there's like a sell here. So that's why I just put it. I mean, then can I add another zone? Of course, you can add another zone because look at these edges. Look at these edges. You know, you might want to say, oh, let me put it here, but I want it to all this to because this is most recent. You get experience, like I said, experience. So you're going to adjust this. So it's touching here and it's also touching this. So let's keep it. Let's see how it looks. It looks okay. Looks good. Looks okay. This looks good. This looks okay. This looks very very okay. So yes, this looks okay. So right now, this is the daily. The market has actually broken above this level. Okay, this daily level. I don't know how to explain it. But this is a sell. I think if I move to the 4 hour, you'd see it. So this is a reaction. I just saw this. This is a sell. This is also a sell. This is also a sell. Like small, tiny. There's reaction. Like the market refused to break above this level. Refused to break. Like it thing came. Okay. Yes. Let's see something. Let me do this. Boom. Okay. See this small reaction here. Small reaction here. It refused to break, and now it still tap at this level again. The market came all the way down. tap at this level again, came here, tap at this level again, came back before finally finding a break. So if I want to draw zone, this is actually a very, very interesting level to draw the zone. That's why. That's just basically it. If you look at it very well, look at it, look at it. That is why this daily lower zone is actually here. So that is why. So it's just simple. So what I'm waiting for now is this market to come here, come down here before I look for a buy all the way to the monthly level. So moving on to the 4 hour. Oof. Look at how crazy this is. I set up zones. I don't know. Um, so what am I waiting for? Um, I'm waiting for the market to finish all of this to come all the way down. Then I'll just pick a buy. Simple. I mean, there might be double reaction here before you know before I actually pick a buy here. Now, what is going to determine the buy? Of course, a candle confirmation. Don't always forget that candle confirmation very important. So yes, yes, yes. That's it. That is it about this pair. That's it about this one. So USN NZD, it's not really a pair I actually pay attention to. There's lots of like crazy, crazy reactions, but overall, if you can look at the market calmly, you understand. Now on the daily, now you can see on this 4 hour, now you can now see the reason why I picked this as a daily level. See how many reaction like this. Lots of like sell, 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 sell. The market refusing to break above this level, so you can actually see it back. So sometimes if you set level a zone, just like the rules from number three, the third rule, you know, from higher time frame come to lower time frame to make adjustments. So that is it. Look at it. Not just for adjustment, but you come down to the lower time frame to actually look at it and see how far. So that is it about this one. Let's see. I think I mentioned the NZD card. Very crazy pair. I usually don't like NZD card, but let's see how we're going to do it. And I'll show you the reason why the spiking is just too much. Look at it. The spike. Look at you see this. You see this. This spiking. I dislike it. This NZD card very crazy. But let's see if we can break it down. Man, what I'm actually doing for you guys. You know. Um, I'm just giving you guys the entire source. Look at this. I don't even need to like think twice. I keep it simple. I don't need to stress myself. That's why look at this. Simple. You might say, oh, there's actually an edge here, right? But sometimes if you put it here, this is not bad. You get this is actually not bad because there's enough space. I was actually going to say there isn't space. Like I was thinking it was going to be look something like this, but this is not bad. But if you put it like this, look at this level, they don't really be enough. It's just not really clicking, you know. Look at this so reaction here, just bouncing on. I want it very wide so that I can have enough space. So I put it at the edge because there's multiple reactions here. So we'll just leave it here like this. You get. Then now let's come on to the monthly time frame. Let's see. Can I really see anything? Look at all these spike. Let me pay less attention to the spike. Let's come all the way to this. Let's do it the traditional way. We'll come here, these edges, because of the reactions here. So we're going to pick this level here. We are going to pick this level here. So, I think this is a little bit clear. I mean, this is a fake small spike breaker, but overall you can tell that this is actually a consolidating level. This market did consolidation, mad consolidations here, you know, before coming down to form this fake bikini, then finally broke. Then now it's now doing like this. It's not like it's in a downtrend. So forget this whole thing it did. Even, if I'm to let me do something. If I'm to drag, if I'm to drag this elsewhere and really okay, if I can drag it, the whole reaction, right, and bring it somewhere else, somewhere. Ha! Look at this. If I'm to drag it and pick, obviously, where is the level? Where is the demarcation between these two, between the up and the downside? Just look. It's very simple. It's just here. See it. Simple. You know, simple as it is. You know. So you see, this is just simple as it is. It's the same thing there. So sometimes I think you can even try this. Draw it and then draw. Use this tool to like draw the zones, draw the market first. Then you can actually try it. I've never tried it before. It's in this video. I'm literally using this to like to make it clear for you guys to understand, so you can see. It's just a clear demarcation. Now you might now say there's another level here, but that will be on a different distance. If I say I want to do something like this, clone this and then put it here, it won't really make sense. Why? It's too tight. It is too tight. So we're just going to ignore that. So yeah, so back to the market. Yes. Now can we see another zone that is far away? Okay. If we look for this, yeah. Let's see. Okay, see a reaction here, see a reaction here, see a reaction. Okay, let's see if we can clone and then put it here, this edge here. Go out this edge. Okay, it's looking solid. Looking solid. It's trying to look solid. I think let me adjust it small to touch this side. Let's see. This looks better. This looks better. This looks way better. But as you can tell, this market is literally forming like a wedge. It's like just trying to, as if it's trying to, I don't know. Look, it's forming a wedge. Those of you that are familiar with wedges, it's literally trying to find a wedge. As if it's like it started wide, now it's now closing in, but I just ignore. So monthly levels are actually set. Then let's move straight to the weekly. Yeah. Hmm. When you look at the weekly here, what can we see? What can we see on the weekly here? Oh, this market is really spiking. Really spike. Its spike is a lot. It's the spiking itself, spiking. So this is actually the weekly.